Shots appeared like multiple people in the crowd were hit, according to Fox News.
The scenario that everyone, of course, feared and was trying to protect against. Certainly as we head toward the conventions this summer, security is in the spotlight. The questions, of course, now, how could this have happened at a rally for the presumptive Republican?
I don't know, to shoot him in the ear.
Donald Trump. I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. Dark days are ahead of us. I made the joke. I said, oh, you think this will be fucking an opportunity for gun control? But fuck no, dude. The only gun control that will be enforced in this country is like if you have ever demonstrated any kind of left-leaning sentiment. Like, for example, we shouldn't murder gay people or whatever. The government will come and take your guns away. Only to give
My
it to
God.
the people who say
I don't know. I don't think it's a stunt. I don't think so because
lots of jokes, not trying to get you in trouble. I mean, I've been doing that as well, so I've been holding.
I don't think he would pay someone to shoot him in the face, like near the face. Like if they missed you, they'd kill him. Like I could understand him paying someone to like shoot him in the arm or the leg, but the ear, I guess that's maybe like what like the whole thing is like this conversation I'm having right now in my head or like out loud could also be like what they said. Well, they'd be like, well, Donald, you gotta make it feel real. If it's the leg or the arm, it's gonna be a publicity stunt. So you gotta shoot me near the head. I mean, maybe, but if people are shot in the crowd too, I'd be almost completely persuaded against the whole stunt idea.
Trying to get a handle on it, as you can imagine, federal law enforcement agencies, and I'm including my reporting with my colleague Jonathan Deans on this. Federal law enforcement agencies are all acutely aware of what's going on and are standing by to provide any sort of information or do any sort of investigative work, depending upon what they might find. Of course, there'll be questions about security. If this was in fact an intentional act, there'll be questions about the what and the why. But right now, I think folks are still trying to get a handle on the details, the most important of which, just so people understand the current condition of the former president, is that he is expected to survive.
Tom Walter, thank you very much. Stay with us. I want to go to Hallie Jackson, who has an update from the Trump campaign. Hallie?
Yeah, her campaign spokesperson. I'm going to read you this statement in full as obtained by our colleague Garrett Haig. The President Trump thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. The spokesperson goes on to say he is fine and being checked out at a local medical facility. That is it for now. We do expect more details to follow, but obviously significant now as we're looking at some of these images here.
Hot take, this won't change the election that much. We'll see. I don't know about that.
Obviously being looked at.
People do hate Trump, myself included. Like everybody, like people that hate Trump still hate Trump. They're not going to be like, I love Trump now.
Convention that for the presumptive Republican nominee.
This will bring a lot more people to pay attention to what the fuck's going on in the cycle.
Just days before he is set to officially accept the nomination. We want to be super careful here because there's still a lot we don't know about motivation, but I will just echo what some of my colleagues have said here, having been to many of these kinds of rallies. There is a security perimeter in place for any time you go to an event with any current or former president. There are mags, there's a perimeter, and it is usually, obviously, always pretty intense. And so there are going to be a lot of questions here moving forward as to how this could have happened as we're looking at these very dramatic visuals now from photographers who are lined up right there on stage in Butler, Pennsylvania. We have seen a lot of reaction coming in. I know that Kristen just went through some of it from people like Mike Pence, from others in the party, saying that they are praying for the former president. As you see there, the blood on his face. He's holding up his hand. That shot that we have been replaying here, Jose. But again, the word from the Trump campaign, he is fine, they say, and currently being checked.
How's there blood here?
Hallie Jackson, thank you very much. I want to go back to Dasha Burns, who was at that Trump rally north of Pittsburgh and has new reporting. She joins us on the phone. She was asked to leave the area as it is considered a crime scene.
Yeah, Jose, that's right. Everyone has now been evacuated. That includes staff, that includes the press as well. We have our crew has
You know, if there's a moment to kind of maybe smile a little bit is that President Trump made their job hard, but he wanted to make sure he sent a message to the American people that no matter what happens, he's not going to back down. And that fist bump, I tell you, if that doesn't give you some form of resiliency, some form of respect for this man.
Oh, shut up.
Dasha, I'm so sorry. I just can't. We're not able to make out exactly what you're saying. It is a very chaotic scene where you are. The communications are difficult. We're going to try to reestablish a better line of communication with Dasha Burns. I want to go back to Peter Alexander.
Cristiano Ronaldo? Bitch, if the shooter was Cristiano Ronaldo, he wouldn't have missed. What are you talking about?
Jose, no new information from the White House right now.
Oh my God.
Shooter barely went 1 for 8. What are you talking about? Bro's the reason they make scripts. I can't even fucking log into. I can't even watch the. Does anyone have a Fox News link? I need a Fox News link. I need to see what the fuck they're saying.
Governor of the state of Pennsylvania. So that's just the latest information we're getting from there. Again, we are reaching out to our to the staff at the White House right now. President Biden, as we noted earlier, is traveling. He is in Delaware right now. The reporters, the pool that travels with him, we are told by reporters they are being kept inside the vans that they normally travel in a safe distance away from his home. But that is the latest in terms of the information that we have, Jose.
Peter Alexander, thank you so much.
Right, Keegan?
Continue our coverage. Lester Holt continues with our breaking news.
Jose, thank you very much. As we continue to cover the events here, I want to go to Dasha Burns. Dasha was in the crowd covering this event. I think we've reestablished your signal. Dasha, do you hear us okay?
Yeah, Lester, I'm on a better line, I think. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Lester, I'll tell you what transpired is the former president was just
It's first coming from Secret Service and now from the Trump campaign itself, that it sounds like he is doing well, and whatever the intentions were of whatever happened there at
I and our team were up on the press risers as he first started speaking. We were just making our way off of those risers. We were heading to the ground level where all of the attendees were on the grass in the field at this venue when we heard what initially I thought might have been fireworks. The ground is often involved pyrotechnics, sometimes there is smoke for effect. So initially there was confusion, shock, surprise for myself being there personally, but also as I looked around
were of whatever happened there at the rally. It sounds like he's going to be just fine, and probably, I would guess, you knowing him, I knowing him, as many folks know him, probably more fired up than ever to get back out there on the campaign trail.
Oh, someone else got shot in the head, I guess.
Just the indication that he wanted to get up and raise his fist after that moment, I think was an image he wanted to portray. I think there's a lot to know where things are coming from.
Bro, why are you turning off a first-hand account of a woman on the phone?
Brett, thank you very much. Safe travels. We will see you here very shortly in Milwaukee. Excuse me, I want to make sure that we get to nationally syndicated political reporter Selena Zito. She is a Pennsylvania. She is somebody who has a Pennsylvania, I guess would be the right term. She covers this state border to border, knows it inside and out. You were there at the rally.
He's talking about his hair.
Tell us what you witnessed.
Yeah, so I was here at the rally, been here since 12 o'clock this afternoon. I had actually met with the president for a couple minutes before he went out on the stage. He was in great spirits. We were to do an interview after the rally. I was in the buffer, so the buffer zone is the area where it's like this narrow area that's right along.
By the way, anytime a president gets shot or like a 9/11 style situation happens, check in on your most like susceptible to conspiratorial thinking friends, because in the upcoming days they are going to have life-changing thoughts. Okay, I'm telling
Oh
you
yeah,
right now,
he always
a
has
lot of
tons of
people that
tabs
you
open.
took for granted as like
He
normal
streams for 8 hours a day, so
are going to no longer be normal family members. These
and
are
he's
all
doing the
gonna be
news almost most of
life-changing
it.
events for many
So he
American
has
families. They're gonna fucking turn
lots of
around and be
tabs.
like,
Plus, he follows a lot of
they're gonna turn around and be like, this is a
journalists and
false
stuff
flag.
who
Look at it,
message
like,
him
the
directly.
fact that he got up immediately, shit like that. You know, I'm telling you right now, this is Blue Anon is about to go crazy. We're talking about
Blue Anon, I like it.
crowd going crazy, but Blue Anon will be extra nutty as well. There's hella members in the chat currently riding with the false flag conspiracy.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying there's a possibility of it, obviously.
That are like, gaming tonight? Yeah, dude, we're gaming with American democracy's future.
Literally.
And it was hard to tell exactly where the ships were coming from. I thought I saw some smoke on the right-hand side of the stage.
Obviously, who knows how the fucking hogs operate going forward? They're gonna get extra nutty. But you know who else is gonna get extra nutty? The Blue Anon liberals. Okay? Blue Anon liberals are gonna go crazy mode.
Is there not a just chatting category? What's happening?
Considering how dire Biden's chances were to begin with. MAGA is gonna say this was fucking MAGA is gonna say this was Biden's doing, okay? In which we'll have a funny little moment to talk about how, you know, is it constitutionally legal for Biden to potentially attempt an assassination
That says catting.
of a former president and a political, you know, rival running for office? The Supreme Court did rule it. You know, the Supreme Court made it extra hard to prosecute such things. So that's number one. So, but that's besides the point. You know, it might need an official act. I'm kidding. Obviously, I don't think this was Biden. But, you know, that's a conversation that you can have with your MAGA relatives that will say,
Oh, I didn't even think about
this was Biden.
who, like, I haven't thought one bit about who it was, other than, like, if they were paid or not. Wow, who organized this?
Flag attempt, because they can't cope with the reality that at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break, and that is very real. Unless you subscribe for $5 or
He's gonna give me an ad.
$6, sorry, inflation. Brandon's America. There I go again. Right, Twitch Prime is free though, as long as you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Here's
Should I just do my Prime thing?
right now.
I have it.
Eve of historic moment.
I do watch him often. I might as well do it. I'm tired of the ads.
This is nutty.
He is safe. We are safe. And
Oh boy.
learn as many details as we can.
Dasha Burns with that, first-person account of what occurred there in Pennsylvania. Again, we saw that close-up.
Democrats have a really wonderful opportunity.
I mean, you're welcome to say them,
From Donald Trump's
as long as you're not
to
breaking the law.
the next presidential candidate is going to be. This is the ace in their pocket. This is the ace up their sleeve. I'm telling you right now. Oh, they found the shooter. BNO News says one person killed. That's BNO News, man. County prosecutor says one person killed in shooting at Trump rally. Former president safe. That's probably the shooter, by the way, because they said they got him. If one person has been killed, there's going to be a lot of fucking misinformation flying around. But if there's one person that's killed, it most likely is the shooter, because they said they got him. They took him down.
They killed him? Oh, if they kill the shooter, we're over.
Shoot her down.
What specifically happened, although we've obviously been seeing it and watching it for ourselves. The Secret Service, they say, has implemented protective measures.
If Biden got
and the
shot, it
former
would not have
president
had this
is safe.
effect.
This is
Brother, if Biden got shot, he would not stand up and throw a fucking fist. He would be dead. Just from the sheer pain. He would just die. Like, what do you mean? Biden would have died before the bullet hit him because he would have heard the loud noise and it would have scared him to death. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, I suspect that, like, whoever would do such a thing would be probably a hog with better aim. Nice title, bro. What do you mean? It's what happened. Trump shot at PA rally is my title. Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna fucking do like?
What's my title? Donald was shot.
Guy in the wool hog. You're gonna be like, oh, I can't believe you're not demonstrating a level of respect for the former president. Like, you're a piece of shit if you're already like a fucking massive Trump supporter. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna spare your feelings, dipshit. I didn't even write anything crazy. I'm not like celebrating. I just simply said Trump shot at PA rally. He did. You can see it on the fucking screen.
New York, we are following the events in Pennsylvania where former President Trump, appearing at a rally, suffered what appears to be a wound to his ear after pops were heard, multiple pops.
He says pops.
Believed to be potentially gunshots. The former president taken from the stage, surrounded by Secret Service, ultimately put into his armored vehicle.
You mean all these MAGA people who know what guns and stuff look like and sound like?
That rally site is now a crime scene as the Secret Service now takes over in the investigation.
I need to see these. I need to see the crowd.
Or fill out at this point. We don't know the status of the shooter and or shooters. We don't know if other people were shot in this attack, but there you see the shot. I think that people will see a lot of the former president looking defiantly and triumphantly, even as he's led away with that bloodied face. We want to show you there's video of the incident. We're going to take a moment here and watch. Here it is.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
What are they shooting at there? Those 3 shots at the end. Did they shoot at the people and like? Did anyone die? Like what? What are those sounds? That doesn't even sound like a gun. Another shot.
Quite a long time, I think.
That's what those 2 shots were.
It's probably the shooter. And the 8 to 10 shots that were fired could literally be the police firing back, Secret Service firing back at the shooter.
What do you say? Let me get my shoes.
The former president obviously dazed by what had transpired. To hear him say, "Let me get my shoes," as Secret Service surrounds him. Typically, Secret Service protectees are protected by layers of teams. You see the folks usually in the dark uniforms there with the assault weapons. It's part of a counter-assault team that typically is certainly on presidential security. I can't tell you for sure if we would see it in this case a former president, but nonetheless, you see these teams begin to surround Mr. Trump. And then somebody says clear. We don't know if they're referring to the threat. If the threat was neutralized, that's obviously the next worry is to make sure that there is no further threat to the protectee, in this case, former President Trump or anyone in the crowd.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. If it's an undocumented migrant, dude, listen, if you have any kind of like Mexican in your ancestry, you're getting deported, okay? Like, it is, if the shooter...
Oh my god, if they're an immigrant, that's the best shot I've seen. Where's the hole?
Assisting, and the former president has a permanent detail, of course, of Secret Service agents that protect him, a detail leader, a special agent in charge. They're all very close to him. You can see when he was hit, his face is actually turned to the right, and he grabs his right ear. Now, you can hear some small popping noises, and you can also see the crowd react to the noise. So, you know, I think I would probably rule out some sort of a slingshot. I think it is some sort of a weapon. Now, it could be a small caliber handgun that grazed his ear. That's a possibility.
Oh, he's saying he's ruling out a slingshot.
It also could be something like a simunition. And that's a round that we use in training, that police use in training. It will bust your skin. It will hurt you. It fires from a regular firearm. You know, sometimes people use similar type. There's various types, but sometimes they use them in paintball activities. So it could be a firearm, and that could be a small caliber weapon that just grazed him, because it looks like the shot came from the right, and he was actually facing the right. He had his head turned toward the right, so it doesn't appear the shot.
I don't know how I would feel if he had died.
Which is a small group of supporters there, and it might have came more from his right, and there's multiple shots. So, you know, clearly, I mean, we'd look at this and say someone trying to shoot the former president in the head, misses mostly if he fired, you know, a few rounds, because you can hear some popping, but might have grazed him with one. Now, what kind of projectile it was, if it was, like say, if it was an actual firearm, I'd be thinking it's a small caliber weapon. The reports are not real loud that I can tell, although we'll probably get better audio. It doesn't sound like any kind of a rifle or anything. And he stays by it, Lester, and you made that observation.
This is really, really, really bad.
So when you
Like,
hit by the projectile, see, his head's facing right. I think you should note. He's looking to the right, and there's the pops. You can hear two pops, and he grabs his ear. So it's a small caliber handgun if it's an actual firearm, or it could be a simunition that still breaks the skin, still causes an injury there.
And Jim, you and I have both been to events on this scale, and certainly I've been to presidential events on this scale, and you look around at the security challenge there. Everybody, of course, carries a smartphone right now, and you know they have to make a quick judgment: is that a phone or is that a weapon?
Right.
A lot of movement, a lot of dynamic action going on at these sorts of events. I can't imagine it getting much more challenging from a security standpoint.
Yes, you're exactly right. You know, I served on many of these Secret Service details as an ATF agent over all my 33 years, and we were always called in on those details, especially the campaign years, to work close to the candidates. To, you know, some of the agents traveled extensively with them to supplement Secret Service. So other agents, and back then we were ATF was in Treasury with Secret Service, so we were always called upon to help them. But watch what happens once the former president
the person who attacked Trump was detained. I doubt that that's the person.
Get around him. So
wait, really?
Oh, is hard to get.
Oh, they're bleeding.
That's what they're trying to do. When they yell clear, I would think they're yelling clear to the armored vehicle. They can go to the armored vehicle. That's what they want to do. And I would think that's the clear notice they're giving each other. Clear path to the armored vehicle. Because that's what he wanted to do, is get him in and get him away.
Again, this is the weekend for the Republican National Convention. It is also the weekend that we were expecting we might hear former President Trump's announcement of a running mate. I want to go to Kristen Welker right now. Kristen, we have been watching these members of the so-called short list of potential nominees. Are we hearing from any of them? And if so, what are they saying?
Lester, we're hearing from all of them,
BBC?
and I should preface this by saying this is one of those rare
I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know.
That brings people together across the
If this is
political
from-
aisle. So let me read you some of what we
Oh
are
my
hearing
God.
from the potential
Staged,
VP
and how do you
nominees,
miss
and then
are
also some of
trending
the
in the
other
United
reaction
States?
that we are
BB gun
getting
is
from
trending in the
political
United
world. Senator
States.
Marco Rubio putting out on X, praying for
I don't know if
President
this is
Trump and all
from
those
this
attending the
campaign.
rally
You
in
don't know.
Pennsylvania today. Senator Vance posting, everyone join me in praying for our President Trump and everyone at the rally. I hope everyone is okay. Doug Burgum writing, please join Catherine and me, his wife, in praying for President Trump, his family, and everyone attending the rally. Carrie Lake also tweeting out her words of support. And then Senator Bernie Sanders, independent senator, posting, political violence is absolutely unacceptable. I wish Donald Trump and everyone else who may have been hurt a speedy recovery. Pausing on that last
saying, how do you miss, though? You must not be...
You must never have shot a gun in a crowd, or like I mean, I haven't, so I don't know. But like, I guess that was stupid. But like, you've got all kinds of people around you. You've got a lot of like stuff going on in your head. You're not gonna just shoot and hit it perfect, especially if it's a handgun.
When it happens to like Democrats, it's a little different. When it happens to Democrats, they die, or when it happens to like more progressive people on the ticket, even if they are a Republican. Back at when you know when the Republican Party first started, when it was very different. It was a force of progress. You know, they die. When it happens to right wingers, not as much.
A mother-son who say that they were right there. They were in the area where this happened. Donna, let me start with you. First of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay. Yeah, and Trump was talking, watching him. I heard pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, gun, get down. And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, we were up at the top of our bleacher. The men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out.
So Joe, what exactly did you see? Because from our vantage point, we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could do was listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots.
Guys, the idea that Trump did this to himself is very silly. Please don't.
That's kind of what I'm feeling too. I don't see him having someone shoot him unless it's gonna be in the arm or something. Like, I don't see him risking his life.
An hour ago, his opponent was already a carcass. Okay, his opponent was already a carcass.
And Don, you said two people. Were these two people fellow attendees of the rally? And what kind of did you see them get shot directly, or did you just see the aftermath?
No, you just heard the noise. You heard the pop, pop, pop. Seen the aftermath, and neither of them were good. They were both down. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving.
What was going through your mind as you were witnessing all this?
Are they still here? And am I going to get shot? That's what's going through my mind. He's holding my hand, and we were going to get up and try to get out of here. And some gentleman there said, "No, you stay down." So we stayed down, and then we finally heard everybody evacuate, and he grabbed my hand, and we got out of there.
And Joe, what was your state of mind coming into this rally today? What were you expecting, and what are you feeling now as we all experienced a day that none of us thought would come?
Well, I was excited. I mean, this is just our second rally, and the first...
Bro, Biden is in fucking Rehoboth right now. How is he gonna do a fucking State of the Union style addressal? How is he gonna do how is he gonna do a press conference? He has to, okay? And he's in his fucking beach home in a goddamn vat right now. Do you understand? He's taking a fucking nap currently. And it's after 4 p.m. It's 7 p.m. over there. Listen, he needed to take this weekend off. He did one rally. So cooked. So fucking cooked. Alleged video of the shooter. Gonna show on stream? No, we already saw that video. It's just... We don't know anything yet. I told you. Oh, they, it looks like it's from that same area, but...
The snipers, these were the people protecting the former president.
That's correct. And now they were over in the lawn. They just were watching every single person with their guns going by. I believe the one injured person was over there that they had. Wasn't he on the one on the ground?
Yeah, so before they evacuated, they carried the two injured people out. Then they yelled for us to get evacuated. At that point, all the Secret Service were up in our section with the guns, and they were all in the field. Because like I said, rumor was he climbed up the back of our bleacher, so.
Joe, Donna, thank you both so much. I'm so glad you are safe. I know this was not the day that you were expecting, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Don't go too far. I might have some follow-up questions for you. So Lester, there you have it. Another first-hand account. They were right there. This was not...
Two other people got shot.
Still trying to grapple with what just happened here, Lester.
Dasha Burns, thank you for that interview. Very revealing. We should point out it's unconfirmed what those witness accounts were of other people who might have been wounded. We're tracking all that.
All right, we're getting updates right now. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger told me that the shooter is confirmed dead. One attendee at the rally is also confirmed dead. This is also from WTAE, Pittsburgh TV, Pittsburgh Local News. Confirmed, Butler County District Attorney tells me one person is believed to be dead. Donald Trump is okay. He tells me no information about the shooter right now. Update, District Attorney says he believes the person who died was someone in the crowd. Now, we know that they also said that they shot the shooter, so I suspect that there might be more than one person that died. It might be two people, one attendee and the shooter himself.
There's a lot of conflicting information right now.
But we don't know yet. We don't know
investigation.
yet. Once again, this isn't an official confirmation. This is not an official confirmation. Remember, in times like this, there's always a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos. I'm not even talking about like people who are deliberately spreading disinformation, but also just people misunderstanding. People rushing to be the first to market with information, with news. There's a lot of people that are there were a lot of people that were at the fucking rally. So when you ask these people at the rally, when you ask these people at the rally, like, they're gonna try to give analysis on like where the shot was coming from. I've seen reports about people talking about how this actually was, the shooter was on a bar and like away from the rally, things of that nature. We don't know yet, okay? Until there is official confirmation from the police, from the Secret Service, from actual people that have conducted their investigations. Don't run with any narratives, okay?
Valid. Don't run with any narratives.
Per White House pool, Biden is currently being briefed by a Secret Service Director and DHS Secretary Mayorkas of the incident in the PA Trump rally. So as we are speaking, Brandon is being informed about the situation.
We've reported on it. The FBI
He will
director
most likely go
did an
live at
interview
some
with you
point to
directly,
speak.
Said that he was concerned about this type of thing, Lester, and so I think everybody's been concerned about the potential issues, the potential things that could come up during the course.
When I said the election has the potential to become very interesting, did you expect it to get this insane? No, I did not. I thought that there could be a potential for, obviously, either candidate dying, but I didn't think that it would be like this. I thought
From an assassination? Yeah.
So no.
Our Secret Service agent joining me on the telephone right now. Can you give us a sense from what you have seen? Give us your professional.
I'm stressed.
What appears to transpire here.
Yes. So what we're seeing is him attending a rally, speaking at the rally, and then we hear the shot. That it almost sounds like these shots popping sounds. So we hear these multiple shots. We see him put his hand to his ear, and then you see the agents come in. Those agents that come in are the shift. It's the detail team. For them to come in like that.
Here's the real reason why. Here's the real conspiracy. Not that it was a false flag, but the real conspiracy is he says, "Let me get my shoes." Why? Because he has lift shoes, and he doesn't want people to find out. That's the real conspiracy, okay? He's got those elevated
Oh, shut
shoes
up.
that shorter people wear to get a fucking height boost.
Immediately comes on top of the
That's why he's like, "Let me get my shoes." Like, I don't want people to know. I don't want people to know. I don't want people to know. I'm 5'11".
Come in after. Their job is to move out, and we see them spacing out toward the crowd, and they are to look for the threat. Clearly, we see the agents that get around him. They shield him, and then they move in this unison to shield him body-wise so that nothing strikes him. They move him slowly down the stairs and make their way to the armored vehicle. That's
Oh, I'm spiraling.
Now, Lester, if we're looking at how did this happen, again, confirmed, but if we're looking at what's going on here, what went.
All I'm going to say is, like, the only chance this is remotely salvageable for the Democrats, and it probably isn't no matter what, but the only chance that it is
There's nothing.
salvageable for the Democrats from this point on is if it actually was a fucking BB gun. I don't know why it's effing for some people. It's not effing for me. It's fine on my end, and I think it's fine for a lot of people. people. Twitch, don't fucking fail me now. God damn it, Twitch. Twitch, what are you doing to me, Twitch? Jesus fucking Christ. Of course there are goddamn server issues. What the fuck? Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. The only way that this is even remotely salvageable with Democrats is like it's a BB gun, and the people that are fucking, it's a BB gun, and they still swap out Biden to change the narrative.
To their candidate, that's part of what happens in a campaign.
But I don't think it is. I don't think it is a BB gun, but I'm just saying.
To create, a fortress of security at the same time, allowing people to do what people should be doing at rallies like this.
So let's go to your first point where there's people there. When you do these events, and I've done these events, they're called the side advance. When you secure an event like this, you're the side agent. So you have two goals, two missions. I am to protect the President of the United States, right? However, the other goal or mission is the people at this event. So yes, they're targeting, or let's say assuming, right, that again, we don't have confirmation. But when someone is targeting the President, right, if they're going to shoot, yes, he's an issue, but also the people in the area are an issue, right? Where are all these rounds going? So when we hear these sounds, these small, these echoes of what appear to be shots,
so unimaginably cooked.
There were multiple shots. Every round, Lester, has to go somewhere. It lands somewhere. Where are they going? So you've got all these people. So you are responsible, not just for the safety of the U.S. President, but you are responsible for the people there. The President, think of him as he's a target.
I'm literally going to start live streaming on YouTube if this continues. What the fuck?
What he attracts as a sitting U.S. President or a former president or a candidate. So when you put them in a place like this, you also have to think strategically, what about all the people there? Now, you'll see the barricades that are set up. You see the stage that's set up. What you may not see in that shot is you will have ingress and egress elements. That means you want multiple ways in and multiple ways out. So you want movement for the president. You also want to create an alternate movement for him if he can't
Y'all,
primary way. So
y'all, what is going on in your lives? What's happening with your brains? Because my brain is freaking out.
There specifically
I don't know what the fuck's going on with Twitch.
Evacuate him. Because also you're in an open area here, right? So you don't have that concealment.
My account manager, hold on.
Whenever you do an open area like this, massive line of sight issues, meaning you can get the threat from so many different ways, so many different areas. And just one thing to touch on too, typically after an event like this, it's typically the FBI who comes in to do the investigation of what happened, right? So it's the Secret Service element is the element that does the protection, and the FBI typically is who's going to come in.
Do you think he's getting...
What and how did this happen?
Abby, let me ask you this. In terms of what kind of intelligence law enforcement has or is given before an event. We're in prime time
Cooking me. I don't know
campaign.
what the fuck to do here. It's like it's not even, dude, look at this. It's fucked up on my end too. And for those of you who can watch, you can watch perfectly fine. But for some weird reason, like some people are experiencing server side issues on Twitch's end.
So here he's going to his location, right? He's going to a town or a city, wherever he's going.
Right at
You
this
work
moment.
from the beginning. You have many meetings with the local police department. The president, former president's coming in. He's going to do a rally, and we share intel. The U.S. Secret Service shares their intel. This is what we're hearing from our side. The local police department, typically because they know what's going on in their community, they're also going to have their ears to the ground. They're going to have intelligence and information. And then we have these meetings. The Secret Service will have these meetings before an event where everybody comes together and everybody shares.
If anything, it's out of Twitch's control. Could be a dozen, could be dozens of factors. No, on my end, I have no drop frames.
What elements do we need to put in place? So if you're hearing there's a lot of protesters, you're hearing talk that people are going to show up and cause problems, that is all communicated so you can figure out what you need. And also, you can figure out what assets to put into the crowd to blend in. You're seeing the Secret Service suits, you're seeing the tactical team, you'll see uniforms for police departments, but they also have an element there that is the unseen, the
call them undercovers, but there's those agents and law enforcement who will circulate in the area in plain clothes and kind of lend their ear out and hear what's going on.
All right, Evie, you have been a tremendous help helping us understand the mechanics of security in a situation like this. Hopefully we can rely on you again to talk a bit later, but thank you so much. We continue to look at the video, the shocking video, frankly, from Pennsylvania, where earlier this evening, early evening here on the East Coast, someone apparently took shots at the former President Trump. As we heard, two senior law enforcement officials saying there is a growing concern that there may have been a serious attempt
Butler
on
County
the life
District Attorney Richard
former
Goldinger
President
tells me Trump was grazed by gunfire, but
apparently
a
his
safe and
wounds
audience member was killed and the shooter is
survivable.
dead.
He's barely
Another
doing
person
okay,
is
but we
in
saw him
serious condition.
clutching his ear, a bloodied ear, as he was led from the scene. People heard multiple pops in the crowd. We are continuing to track information we can about any potential
The
other
person that is
victims.
in serious condition might have also been like shot by the Secret Service, like when they're shooting when they're trying to take down the shooter.
Not seeing the candidate, hearing what he had to say.
I have to pee.
Nobody signed up for this, however. I want to go to NBC's Dasha Burns, just outside that Trump rally north of Pittsburgh. Dasha, you were there as the crowds were trying to get out. As you watch the video, of course, your eyes are focused on former President Trump and his reaction, but you're also seeing people in the crowd who seem unaware, don't quite realize what's happening. I suppose that's not unusual. As you were able to exit the grounds, were people beginning to fill in some of the blanks of what they saw and heard?
Yeah, Lester, absolutely. There was a lot of confusion initially. You don't expect something like this to happen going in. There's so much security protocol when you come to a Trump rally. And as we were first hearing those sounds, so many people that I've talked to, myself included, our team here, thought it might have been fireworks. We weren't sure what was going on. Now, as everyone has taken a bit of a breath and is trying to absorb what happened, we now understand that that's not necessarily the case. We are coming to you live right now from the parking lot for this venue. Trump rallies attract thousands and thousands of supporters. There are thousands of cars here. And Lester, we are running into people who have evacuated the rally, are looking for their vehicles and trying to process what just happened. That's how I ran into Aaron here. Aaron was in the front row there near the former president. Aaron, first of all, are you okay? How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I was in the first row. I was directly in front of Trump, my seat. I was looking him in the eye. We heard the pops, maybe 3 minutes into the rally, 3 to 4 minutes. I heard 4 pops, pop, pop, pop. The 4 Secret Service immediately jumped on the stage, and we saw him push President Trump to the ground. Then the gentlemen that have the guns came up to start clear right, clear left. They said, get him up. So they lifted him up. Trump said, I got to get my shoes on first.
Elin.
Did his shoes come off?
Elin, we don't know if that footage is correct or not.
But his shoes must have come off when they dropped him down to the ground. First thing he said, we could all hear it. I have to get my shoes on first. And when he stood up, I'm looking at him forward, I see the red teardrop right here of blood, fresh red blood, just a little tear. Then when they got him up and they turned
Bro,
him.
if you ask me one more time, Kronos, if the shooter could possibly be connected to ISIS, I'm gonna send you to Syria, okay, or Afghanistan, wherever ISIS still remains, okay? Are you fucking stupid, dude? How am I even physically capable of making this idiotic fucking assessment live in the midst of like breaking news of historic magnitude? And you immediately go, should it be ISIS? There's like 8 guys left on ISIS. The fuck are you talking about?
Now, when I called my husband
Even
at
if it
home, who's
is.
watching TV, he said, I
Why
thought
are you
Trump
asking
heard
me
it
to
here when
fucking
he
make
went to
this
the ground. He said, no.